Here are 3 reasons why to subscribe to Fringe Financials on YouTube. Number 1, it is free, which is the best price that you can pay for this kind of content. 2, I am completely transparent with all of my investments. And number 3, I have a variety of educational videos every single week. Now let's get on with the video. Do you know the difference between a value stock and a growth stock? If you do not, then today's Wisdom Workshop Wednesday is just the video that you need to help understand more of the financial aspects of the stock market. So if you're excited for today's video, just make sure you smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications. Again, that way you don't miss anything that is important. So today's video is going to be describing the main difference between a value stock and a growth stock, and I'll get into the difference between both of them, some examples, and kind of summarize maybe what is the avenue that you might want to go down possibly. So again, no, this is going to be financial advice, but it's just kind of cover the differences so you are aware about what it is that we're talking about. So let's begin by defining our key terms here. So value stocks and growth stocks are 2 distinct investment styles that can greatly impact your investment strategy. Value stocks are companies that are perceived to be undervalued by the market. These stocks typically trade at a lower price to earnings ratio, or what is called a PE ratio, and have solid fundamentals such as stable dividends and a history of steady performance. Now, on the other hand, a growth stock are companies with strong potential for high earnings growth. These companies often reinvest their profits back into the business, focus on expansion and innovation, and they also trade at higher PE ratios, reflecting the market's optimism and their future prospects. So essentially what this is talking about is that value stocks really focus on those companies that are more stable for long term. Growth stock is what focuses on taking the money, not paying the shareholders in dividends, but then using that money going back into the business to become more innovating, to grow the company more and more. And I'll give you some examples about what those will be for both sides in just a little bit. Now, let's take a closer look at the key characteristics of value stocks. So the first one here is that it is undervalued potential. So value stocks are often overlooked by the market, leading to a lower stock price compared to the actual value. This presents an opportunity for investors to buy these stocks at a discount. So a lot of these value stocks are trading at a lower value compared to what the market thinks, which is why it might be a possibility to invest in them, and they are at a great value. All right. Also, they have stability in dividends, which is what I just kind of talked about. So value stocks are commonly found in mature and industries and sectors. They tend to have consistent cash flows and may offer regular dividends, providing a level of stability in an investment portfolio. So again, for me, if my portfolio is giving me dividend payouts, those companies are stable. They've been doing it for years and years and years, and they don't have as much innovating that they're doing. They've already grown and established their business, so they take the money that they make from their company and they give it to the shareholders in the form of a dividend, so that way it kind of keeps us around because they're not innovating as much, so we don't see as much of a huge spike in the stock value itself, but we'd like the dividends as passive income. The third thing, which I think is one of the most important things to keep track of, is what is called a cyclical nature. Now, value stocks perform well during economic recoveries when the market sentiment favors these established, reliable companies. Let me give you an example. Just recently, over the last 2 years, with the pandemic starting to ease off and inflation coming into play and things being more expensive, you will see that a lot of stocks actually started to transition and being bought up that word value stocks because they're more stable. They're not going to change as much with the market. And when I give you an example in a little bit, you'll see why I'm talking about seeing that fluctuation of prices here. So this cyclical nature really does help, because what it does is that when you're thinking about the economy maybe going down, maybe it might be a market crash, maybe it might be a correction, you might see those dividend stable companies that are value stocks that are going to be having a little bit more of a price increase compared to those growth stocks. So moving on to growth stocks, some of the characteristics that are important is the earnings growth potential. So growth stocks are associated with companies that are expanding rapidly and are expected to generate above average earnings growth. These companies often reinvest their profits to fund further expansion. So again, these companies are having the mindset of, we're going to get money from, investors, we're going to get money from our customers, we're going to take all that money, instead of giving it back to shareholders, we're going to take it and reinvest it back in the business, with the idea as to grow and to establish and to become an even bigger company, which in turn gives you the stock market shareholders better returns. So you're looking for them to put more of the money into their own business instead of giving it back to the shareholders. Now, the second main characteristic is innovation and disruption. So growth stocks are often found in innovative sectors like technology and healthcare. These companies are at the forefront of technological advances, aiming to disrupt industries and capture new markets. And again, I'll show you one example that I think will be a great example to compare to, and you'll see kind of what the difference is. And the third one is the higher risk and higher reward. Again, while growth stocks have the potential for sustainable gains, they also have a higher risk because, again, say they come up with this new idea to expand their company and the idea backfires, then that's shown that this company may be not sustainable and you'll see a crash in the price. So it's a higher risk, but there's also a higher reward that comes with it. So things get taken into mind and consider what is better for you. So for example, you will see on my screen here, so I have the three stocks on the screen. I have three charts here. So I have a growth stock, which is in Tesla. I have a value stock, which is in Procter & Gamble, and I have the SPY index, which tracks the S&P 500. So as you will see on the screen here, they have three lines. So Tesla's in red, SPY's in blue, and then Procter & Gamble is in purple. And as you see how the market has gone for this year to date so far, Tesla is outperforming both of these by a long shot. Tesla has a return of 82% on the year compared to the SPY, which is at about 15%, and Procter & Gamble, which is at 3.3%. So if you look at this chart and saying, why on earth would I invest in Procter & Gamble when I can just invest in Tesla and get these amazing returns? So this is what happens when you zoom out to looking at the financial market, okay? So taking a look at the 1 year return, as I click on the 1 year here, if it'll ever load. So taking a look at the 1 year return here, look at the astronomical difference. So on a 1 year basis, Procter & Gamble and SPY are basically neck and neck at about the same return value over a whole year. But meanwhile, Tesla is actually down 27% for an entire year. So it's all about what's happening in the market. Again, with the market recently going up and down and changing and fluctuating with inflation rates, with rising interest rates and all those kind of things, these growth stocks have a lot more fluctuation in value. Again, it was even down at 65% around here back a year ago. So again, that's talking about the inflation values and everything else. So again, when you're talking about seeing this economic shift and seeing people becoming a little bit more scared and a little more worried about what the economy is going to be doing, you'll see a lot more fluctuation into these stable dividend companies that are more established and at a better value because, again, it's more sustainable for the short term. Now, again, look at long term. Again, it all depends on what your preference is. Again, you can zoom out and go even farther and see. So even on a 2 year basis, Procter & Gamble is up 7.7%. SPY is actually down 0.68%, actually 1.41 just updated. And Tesla's down 6.08%. So again, depending on how the market is reacting to all the economic news with inflations or with pandemics or global crises, anything that's going on here, you'll see this kind of shift in the market. Now, before you say, oh, well, Procter & Gamble is a great investment here, again, it all depends on where you look. If you look at the 5 year, Tesla's up over 1,000%. So this is the thing that the main difference is between a value stock and a growth stock. Growth stocks have a lot more room for an upside potential, a lot more. You have a lot more growth, a lot more returns and everything else. So there are considerations that we want to look at. The first one, again, as I kind of just established, is the investment goals. So your investment goals and risk tolerance play a crucial role in determining whether value or growth stocks are a better fit for your portfolio. Again, are you looking for short term or are you looking for long term? If you're looking for long term, you might want to go one direction. If you're looking at short term, you might want to go a different direction. Age also plays a fact in this as well, because if you're getting closer to retirement, for example, if you're getting closer to retiring and having your portfolio pay for your retirement or help pay for retirement, you probably don't want to go into those risky growth stocks, because if you lose your money, you're losing retirement. When you're younger, some people take that risk of doing more growth stocks because you have the bigger risk but bigger reward. And again, you have a lot of time to gain back the money in case you lose it. So it's all about what your investment goals are looking at. Another key thing to think about, again, is diversification. So having a mix of value and growth definitely helps keep a balance. The value stocks are really, really good because it gives you consistent returns, passive income, and everything else. But the growth stocks can give you that extra potential to grow your portfolio a little bit more than just having value. So diversification is definitely a very key thing to think about. And again, as I've established before, market conditions make a difference. Market conditions and economic cycles can influence the performance of value and growth stocks. Again, it is important to look at the current market trends. So right now, with the economy going kind of up and down, as you saw with Tesla, and you can see with other growth stocks like Amazon or Google, it's a lot of fluctuation because the market is really uncertain with what's going on right now with inflation, with rate hikes, and all those kind of things. So you have to understand the market conditions. If it looks like we're going to be going into like a long-term, like the economy's recovering nicely, we're doing really, really great, maybe those growth stocks might be better for you. But there's talks of recessions possibilities coming in maybe next year. So if you go into a recession, you're going to see those value stocks probably go up more in price and give you better returns. So you have to keep up with the market trends. So in conclusion, understanding the differences between value and growth stocks empowers you to make informed and investment decisions. Value stocks offer stability and potential dividends, while growth stocks present the opportunity for a higher earnings growth and innovation. By aligning your investment strategy with your goals and risk tolerance, you can create a well-rounded portfolio that includes both value and growth stocks. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you learned something new. On Friday, we're going to be doing another net worth review, so that's going to be coming out, so be on the lookout for that one. So far, again, not looking too good, but I will cover why on Friday, so make sure to turn the bell notifications so you do not miss that video coming out. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Again, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.